Welcome to today's North Country Region's WebPoint webinar, where we will help to educate you on the ins and outs of using WebPoint to run the member and team management within your club. As has been previously stated, WebPoint is new to the NCR, but not new to other USAV regions. All junior and adult members can take care of their own profiles, while junior club directors have the advantage now of seeing records for each and every one of their members, as well as create and manage their teams. I am Colleen Hauk, your NCR WebPoint liaison, and now let's begin learning a little bit more about WebPoint. What is WebPoint? Well, WebPoint is USA Volleyball's membership system. It is an individual membership profile and is where junior club directors will take care of all of the administration for their clubs. At this time, I strongly encourage all of your club members. In fact, I need you to reach out to all of your club members to acquire a new or renew their individual membership from the NCR website, which runs off the Sports Engine platform. They need to do this because if they don't do it, you're not going to be seeing them in your club management. Once a membership is completed through Sport Engine, members will be notified with a link to WebPoint to create an account. Not only is this for your players and coaches, but yourselves as well, junior club directors. Inside your administration area, you will be able to view memberships, track certifications, and create rosters by filling them and being able to print them as well. Who is your NCR staff? Well, we have a lot of staff here in the NCR office that can help you in any different ways. But if you're really interested in having your WebPoint questions answered, you'll want to contact either Petra or myself. And you can do that either by email or calling the office, and we will sit on the phone with you until all of your questions are answered. So how do I begin with my club registering and getting that admin access taken care of? Well, existing clubs, all of the info has been carried over from the previous year, including admin access. In the last couple of months, we have spent time actually posting different members to their admin access from their clubs. If it was if you let us know in the office, we were able to do that right away. Is there a junior club director that is new to your club? Well, you need to let us know that immediately so that we can get them all set up and in there as an admin. As far as new clubs go, if you're going to be starting a new club and you just haven't done it yet, but you're thinking about it, you must actually have a current USAV membership in order to be able to register your club. Now, this next part might sound a little redundant, but again, you need to register for your membership on the NCR website. Create that Sport Engine account, log in. Once you're logged in, you're going to be able to see that registration link and be able to begin your registration process. Once you have a current USAV WebPoint account, you can then register your new club. So once that's all done, you'll go to the NCR website. In the upper left-hand corner of the site, you're going to be able to see where you can log in up there. Okay, so you're going to be logged in. You're going to be able to then go to the Director Coach tab there, and then you're going to see this window that's down here below. I should say, where there's one other step before you get there. You're going to see a page where there's going to be a window on how to start a new club and new club registration. And then you're going to be able to see this window here. It has explicit instructions on there, and if you follow those, you won't have any problems at all in registering your new club. The required information: club name, club code. You're going to be assigning those 5 letters to your club name, club website, address, and the director's name. Something I want to mention is that if you're a brand new club, you might be thinking that the club name that you have is really unique. And believe me, there are a lot of very unique same clubs out there in the entire country. So I would go ahead and do a Google search and make sure that there's not already a junior volleyball club with the same name. Now, again, if it's on one of the coasts, does it really matter that much? Probably not. But if it's on your own backyard, yes, it does matter. So you want your name of your club to be unique. So do the research for that. Before WebPoint access is granted for the junior club director, again, the WebPoint record must reflect for the junior club director a current membership with the club selected. Your club will be selected when you're doing your membership on the NCR website. There'll be a drop down. You'll be able to select your club from there. All of the clubs have been added that have sent in their information. If you're a new club and you're wondering whether or not it's been added yet, well, if you've sent in that registration form as a new club, then yes, it'll be added to the drop down. You also need to have a current and clear background screen in order to be able to be given access. So once the junior club director is all set up in WebPoint, contact the NCR to request admin access for your club. You're going to have to contact us directly with your information so that we can add it. Junior club directors will retain admin access from year to year if the membership has not lapsed. If the membership lapses, you will need to request admin access once again. Best to not let your membership lapse. Memberships will be lapsing on 10/31 of 2018. That is in about a week. Previously to coming in here to start this webinar, I just went ahead on WebPoint just to check out all of the junior club directors that have been given club admin access, and only about a quarter of them have gone in and renewed their membership. I'm not going to stress this anymore right now because I'll send out an email tomorrow to remind you about that once again. Once the access has been granted, WebPoint is a whole new world for you, and one that you are going to really enjoy working in. You're going to have so many benefits here, and you're going to wish you should have been able to do this years ago. So once you log into WebPoint, you're going to see over here on the left-hand side of the page of your home page, you're going to see all these pretty new little tabs under your club administration. All of your personal member tabs are above that. So club admin is right below it. In that club admin, you're going to be able to see your profile, your members cards, club teams, rosters, assignments, and different search areas that you will be able to utilize. So the next steps, we're going to work on learning how to the profile and the club members and how to print off your cards. So the main info for your profile, once you've logged in, you're going to be able to look over to the left again, and as I've got the route for you. So we've got the club admin, my club, club profile, and then main info. Okay, from there, you're going to be able to see that there are some things that you can change in there on your own. Address, phone number, club website, those types of things. But any of the information that was important and specific to your club was already entered by the NCR, and it is actually locked in there, such as your club status. You are an active club once you send in that information. The other thing is that you can change is the club type and the club designation. So maybe last year you were only a junior club for girls, and this year you're adding boys, and maybe you're going to have an adult team because your coaches want to have a team this year. Go ahead and click on everything that's relevant. Also the designation. Maybe you've only been an indoor club, but next May you've decided that you're going to run an outdoor season as well. So go ahead and click on that, and that will help us in seeing which clubs are doing which things. So your members, how do I see the members? Well, again, club admin, my club, club members, and click on the members tab. You're going to get a number of pages, depending, of course, on how many members you have. You'll be getting a number of pages up with all of the members listed. Now you can see here where it says current club members only have 7 in it. Well, of course, this is a demonstration page, and most likely your club is going to be having a lot more members than just that. But if you go ahead and you see that the drop down, it has current, that is where you're going to actually be working most of the time. You're not going to be worrying too much about anything else from there. Now, you're going to see all of your club members here, but you can filter this down. There's actually an adult membership tab that is one of the red ones right behind the circle there, and then also a junior membership tab, and that's right next to it. So you can go ahead and you can filter that down and get just those members up if that's what you're looking for. So that's how, though, you can see your members very quickly. Member ID cards. You actually, from your own membership profile, you can print off your member ID card. All members can do it as well, players and coaches as well. You can tell here that this USAV member ID card is an adult card. It doesn't, of course, list a name or member number at all right now, but you can see where it says Safe Sport and Impact in there. So that would be an adult card, and it would be somebody that is working with juniors. For the junior members and adult members as well, the card would come out with a name, member number, the club name, and all the other pertinent information on it. You can actually print off all of these member cards if you would like to for the members in your club. I think it's really a great idea to do this. I'd like to print them off and give them to the coaches, and then the coaches hand them out to the players. I've even done with my own teams, laminated them for the kids because they really truly do enjoy carrying their USAV member card along with them. Let's remember, this is the same card that players on the Olympic teams are carrying currently. So let's keep moving on, and let's view some information there with teams, how we're viewing and how we're editing and how we're adding new teams. So viewing of teams, we have our existing teams. And these teams that you're going to see after you hit the club admin, my club, and then club teams down the side of your administration page, every team that's ever been entered into your WebPoint club account is showing there. Now, obviously, on this screenshot, you're only seeing 2 teams, but the majority of the clubs in the region are going to have a lot more than just 2. Some are going to have 50 or maybe even more, or maybe 20. There's going to be a large list of those teams. And every team that's ever been a part of your organization, even though you haven't been using WebPoint before, they have been entered there. There's just not any rosters on those teams, but you're going to be able to see the teams there. The teams that are active will display at the top of the page, and it will be beginning at the youngest ages all the way down to your 18-year-olds. Now, you're going to see some teams there that most likely you're maybe not going to be using this year. For instance, maybe you had tryouts and you were only able to field one 12s team. But you, over the last couple of years, you've had 2 12s teams. So you had a 12-2 team there. But I'm not using that this year. Don't worry about that at all, because we can make that team inactive and they can move to the bottom of your list. So don't worry about actually eliminating a team. So on the next screen, we're going to show you how we're going to be able to do that. You can open up actually the team record there, and you're going to be able to see that these are the things that you can edit. Just a few things, actually. You can change the team status, so you can change it from active to inactive, and the minute you do that, it's going to go to the bottom of your list. So any teams this year that you don't think you're going to be using, go ahead and put them down at the bottom of the list. The reason why we don't want to actually eliminate those teams was, as I mentioned before, maybe you don't have a second 12s team this year, but next year you're going to. We want to leave that there so that we have that team name and that team code, and it's still available to us for next year. So just don't worry about it and move it to the bottom of the list. You can also be able to change your email address. And I know in this screenshot it shows the team rep. You actually can't do anything with the team rep actually from this page, but you will be able to add a team rep when we add the club members. And once that goes in there, it does get locked on that screen, though you can change it in a different place. All the rest of this information that needs to be changed, or if need be has to be changed, it would have to be done by the region administration office and would not be able to be taken care of by you. How to add a new team. I'm going to spend a little bit of time here because this is something that we've had a number of questions on of late. So again, you're sitting in your Teams tab, in your Club Teams tab, and you're going to look over to the right, and you're going to see where there's going to be a new team tab up there. You can click on that, and then you're going to see this window that's down below here. That window will come up when you click on the new teams. You're going to be entering everything that has the red asterisk by it. So you're not going to worry about the team code right now, because that team code will actually be generated once you enter all this information. The team name is actually going to be your club, and then you add your team name to the end of it. Unfortunately, throughout the years, I've seen a team name come across where I've seen rosters where it's just listed as 13 Purple, for instance. And I don't know where that team is, or that team is really from. So the best thing is to go ahead and put your club name and then add the team name after it. The team type you're going to see is going to be a choice between junior or adult. The gender is going to be female, male, or C for co-ed, and the level of play will run from J, meaning junior, from 0 all the way to 8, meaning 10, 11, 12, 13 on through. You can, again, you see the team rep here. You don't see a drop down because, again, that's going to be added in a different place. You can add your email address. The division there, I know it doesn't have the red asterisk, so it's not a required spot, but a lot of people want to fill in everything. So in that division, there are a whole ton of different options. I usually tell people just go ahead and select either the MJ for male junior 10 through 18 or the FJ female junior 10 through 18. And just go ahead and do that. The team rank is going to be the team rank within your club. Okay, so for instance here, with the club that I created, I've already got 2 13s teams perhaps, and I've already got numbers 1 and 2 in my rankings taken. So the system actually knows that. So when I go to give them a team rank, it's going to start at 3 because I can't give them a 1 and a 2 because I've already used those. Now, the thing is that the team rank, remember, is within your club. It's not like, okay, I'm going to make up a new team, and I don't think that my team really can compete with so-and-so's number 1 team down the street, so I'm not going to give them a ranking of 1. I want to give them a different ranking. That's not what it's for. It's the team rank within your club, and don't worry about what anybody else is doing around you. After all this has been entered, it's going to generate a team code for you. And the team code is there in the 11 digits that you're giving. FJ is female junior. 3 is the age of the team, so 13. The next 5 letters are the club code that you actually assigned back when you set up your team. The 3 is the rank within your club at that age level, and NO stands for North Country. So that is your actual team code. All the teams are going to have a good majority of the same information there. It's just a couple of things will be switched out. But it's good as a junior club director to actually know the specifics. Once that team is there and it's in your club, that team actually is there forever. We cannot remove that team. That doesn't mean we can't change things in there for you, but that team is there actually forever for you to be able to use. All right, so let's get moving on to the team assignments and how we create and edit our rosters. So we have a number, obviously, of everybody, hopefully, that has selected your club when they did their new membership, and they're sitting in your memberships here. One thing I want you to rest assured of this year, because I know some people have been concerned about having to turn in a roster, is that rosters will continue to be verified by the North Country Region office for the 2019 season. So if you're playing in region events, you're not going to have to be worrying about turning in rosters there. Now, if you're playing out of region, you're very most likely going to have to turn in some type of a roster, or maybe you're using the AES system, of which a roster might be on there. But rest assured, if you're in the region, we're going to take care of that for you. That's not going to change, and it won't be changing until the 2020 season. Okay, so now we're going to add a member to a roster. How do we assign them to that? Well, again, we go from club admin, my club, club teams, and then you click on the team from there. You will see this window at the top here, and you'll be able to click on the players. The players from there, you're going to see add club member to team. And that's how you're going to start entering your club members. On the screenshot here, it shows this tab as being white, but you're going to be able to, it's going to pop out at you because it's going to be a blue tab. When you click on that, there'll be a new window that'll open up that you'll select a player or coach from the drop down. I was not able to add that here because I would have had to actually show some people's names from the region, and I didn't want to do that. So trust me, a window will pop up. There'll be a drop down. You'll be able to select a player or coach from that drop down. If you're not seeing that player or coach, it's because they haven't actually finished their membership or done something correctly there, and that's why you're not seeing them. But what you can do is select that player or coach, give them an assignment as far as, are they a player? Are they a coach? Are they the team rep? This is where you can do this here. Maybe as a junior club director, you want to be the team rep on all of your teams, so you can add yourself to that as well. Maybe it's also a chaperone that you might have asked to get a membership, and they're sitting there as well. You have all those different options. You'll select those and hit the submit, and then at the end, they will be added to your roster. This window is it's a little hard to tell because technically it's showing right now only one player is on this team. That is a player. That is the player's name, 16 girl. And normally you're going to see 10 or 12, once you start adding those on there. And you're going to be able to tell immediately what their birth dates are, what position they are, and that their status is current. And you'll also see at the top here, even though you're only seeing these tabs that say 2016-17, you're going to have the 18-19 tab, up there as you're adding players. Okay. Is it possible for you as a club director to be able to delete a player, reassign them, edit their information somewhat on there? Yes, you can do some of those things. So again, you would click on the team name. You're already sitting in that team window that you've already been in off of the Teams tab. Go to the Player tab on the team, which is down here, and there's an Edit tab there. You'll click on the Edit, and you're going to pull up information on that player. Now, it's going to ask you, what do you want to do with this player? And say, for instance, you want to reassign them to a different team. It actually doesn't give you the option of reassigning. It technically asks, do you want to delete this player? Well, sometimes we get worried because we see the word delete, and it scares us. So don't worry about that. You're not deleting the player from the club. You're just deleting them from that team. Unfortunately, it does not state that way. So you can delete a player from a team, and then you can go and add them on a different team. The thing is that you cannot have a player on two rosters at the same time. So that's why if you need to move players back and forth, you need to remove them from one, reassign them to the other. For example, maybe you have 3 17-year-old teams, and one team is going to a tournament, and the other two are not going to the tournament. But unfortunately, the one that's going, neither middle can go. So you need to borrow players from the other team. And this is a tournament where you've got to turn in a roster. So what you can do is you can remove players from the teams that they're currently on, reassign them, add them to the new roster. You can be able to print that roster off, and then you can be able to move them back to the roster that they were originally supposed to be on. I would always remember, once you move somebody, that you need to move them back, because you'll get yourself caught up. If you don't do it right away, you'll forget, and then all of a sudden they're on the wrong roster. I think within the region, if you have to do that and you're going to a region tournament, you would contact Sue in the region office and tell her that you need a new roster verified for a tournament, and that will be taken care of for you this year. This is a new tab for WebPoint in the last couple of years, and you're going to find that this could really make your life a lot easier, especially if you have so little time to build your rosters. In Club Admin and then My Club and the team assignments, you can click on that, and you're going to see, again, you'll be able to pull up every person, every member that's in your club, players and coaches alike. You can check by the box of the member's name, and maybe you want to take care of all of these at the same time. So you can check by all of them. Select from the right, there's a team drop down, and you'll be able to select their team from there. You'll be able to select the position, which would be player, coach. Again, could it be coach? It might be head coach, assistant coach, team rep, team chaperone, those types of things could be added there. Jersey number. And then you can hit assign teams at the bottom of the page, and that's going to populate them all onto the teams where they're supposed to be. And you might miss a few here and there, and then you can use that manual assignment that we just went through, okay? But this is really nifty, especially if you've got to fill a lot of rosters and you don't have a lot of time to be able to do it. You know, so I think that take advantage of that. I know I'm going to encourage anybody that gives me a call to go ahead and try that out this year. Okay, so let's go into our member search. And how do we find members, players, and coaches within our member search? Club member search begins with Club Admin, My Club, Search Contacts, and then Member Search. This is, a lot of times is used to select a group of members, and maybe not necessarily one member, but it's very easy to find a member immediately instead of the long, long list of 3 or 4 pages that you had back at the beginning that you could see. Don't let all of these spaces scare you, because basically all you really need to do is enter the name and the last name in and a couple of letters from the first name in, and hit submit down at the bottom, and it's going to find that player for you or that coach for you. Okay, so that's a real easy way just to find them without scrolling through a bunch of pages. Now the thing is, maybe you want to find all of the females in your club or all the males in your club. You can go ahead and hit the gender one and hit that, and then submit it down at the bottom. It's going to pull up all those. Maybe you want to find everybody that has the same birth date. Maybe you'd like to find everybody that lives in the same city. And actually, I know that being a club director myself, occasionally I've had people ask me, hey, do you know anybody else that lives around me that we could try to carpool? You know, this is a really good way to be able to do that. Plug in the city. You want to find everybody that lives in Lakeville, and you plug that in and submit that, and it's going to pull up every member in your club that lives in Lakeville. So that's where it's most effective for pulling up groups of people at the same time. And once you pull them up as well, I mean, in order to get into their record, all you do is click on the player's name or the coach's name, and it's going to take you right to their record. So how do I view a member's record? Well, again, we've already gotten there. We have Club Admin, My Club, Club Members, and I'm going to stop right there for a second, because when you click on the club members, you're going to see this current club members list up here, and you're going to get to see how many club members are current in your club. So here it states 290. Well, gosh, as a club director, I know I've got 326 in my club. How come I'm only seeing 290? Well, basically, it's because not everybody has finished their membership correctly, and they're not sitting in there. So that's a good way to be able to see how many you've got there and how many you think you're supposed to have. Again, we have the filter tabs that you'll be able to see as well, and that's in the club members section. After you get to that club members, if you click on the member to view, you can click on a certain member from there, and you can pull up their membership. Okay, so you can do that any certain way that you want to. We just showed you how to do multiple ones. We've showed you before how to find members. But here, when you do click on them, you're going to be able to see all of their information. I do want to go back here a little bit because I forgot to add that when you do click on the club members, not only will you see the member's name, but you're also going to see their membership over on the side. The reason why I didn't add the members' names there is because then you'd be seeing club members' names from other clubs, and I didn't want to show that. But I did want to show you the membership area. So right across the name, you're going to see what membership they have and when it's going to expire. Whether or not they're a junior or an adult. And also here, which is kind of interesting, the reason I pulled this one up is because you can see at the bottom here, somebody has already done their new membership and they applied for the limited junior membership, and it's going to expire in 2019. So that's a real quick view of your members and when their memberships, when they actually got it, they actually applied for it, and when it's going to expire. So that's going to be in the club members view. Once you've clicked on your club member, you get to see all this different information about your club member. The member profile, of course, is going to have all of their pertinent information, address, phone number, birth date, those types of things. Level of play, which is like a J, like this one has J6 on there, okay? So we know that this player here, if you're trying to put them on a 15s team, you're not going to be able to do that because they are a junior 16, and it's not, the system will not allow you to do that. So that's a good thing to know, that when you pull it up, it's a quick way to look at their birth date and what level they're actually going to be able to play at. So you're also going to see this other information here, athlete info. That's some of the information that's got their grade and some of their education information. Apparel sizes, I'm not sure how many people really utilize that, but it could be something where, you know, maybe you're going to be giving out practice t-shirts and you want everybody to go in and put their sizes in there so that you can pull it up and see what the sizes are. The main information that we really need, and I think you need as well, is the parent information in each of the junior members, that parent and guardian contact information. I know sometimes people don't like to put that in, but an email address and phone numbers are very, very important to have in here. There's not going to be any solicitation of any kind, but it's important to have that information for your child on record. Of course, this also, we'll see, when you see the adults, of course, it's not going to be exactly the same because it's not going to have the adult's parent information there. So how do I see my members' history? Well, this is kind of interesting because you can actually view all of your members and their memberships that they've had for years. So if you click on the memberships tab, you'll be able to see their history down below. And so the thing is that, say they're an 18-year-old and they've been playing since they were 10. Down in this membership history down here, you're going to see a lot of different memberships, the day that they got it and the day that it expired. If it's a brand new club or brand new player to the club, you're just going to see one junior membership there, like you see right there. Okay, so the same thing will be with the adults as well, your coaches. The other thing that's kind of interesting to see is that in this area, you can see the team rosters. And if you click on that team roster, you're going to be able to see over to the left here, all the roster this member has ever been on. This is juniors and adults alike. Again, if they're 12 or 13 years old, you're not going to see many. If they're 18, you're going to see a lot of years if they've been playing since they were 10. Same thing with the coaches. You're going to see all the rosters they've been on and what position they were in. Could be also a coach where, guess what, they played for 7 years on a club and now they're actually coaching in that same club. You're going to be able to see all of that history. Now, the thing is, you're also going to see every roster they've been on. That means not only just in your club, it means in all the clubs that they participated in. So I find that rather interesting myself. So how do I view the coach information? And we're basically talking here about their certifications and their background screens and their safe sport. So basically, you're sitting in this member's profile already. You're already there. You've already clicked on it. And unfortunately, this screenshot doesn't show it. But when you click on the coach's name, this small window here that's up here, the current certifications, will actually show right above, right where that arrow is. So when you're clicking on that, that does come up, and unfortunately in the screenshot it didn't. But I did want to show you that because that's a real quick reference as to, do they have their impact? Maybe they've gone further and they've done cap 1 or cap 2. That'll show in there as well. Their safe sport and when it's due to expire, their background screen and when it's due to expire. That's a real quick way of being able to view your coaches and what is needed quickly. So that you can let them know, hey, you know what, these things need to be done and you need to do it very quickly. Okay. You can click on the other tabs that are there in the red. For the most part, just gives you some additional information, like the background screen. It's going to show all the different times that they went through the background screen and the dates, all that time. The official info might be if they're, they're an R1 or R2 and they're different badges that you get here in the region. And if you're a scorekeeper, a line judge, all those will show up in there as well. And now that I actually checked this out the other day, and the USA Volleyball has eliminated actually the tab that says cap info there, and all of the coaching certifications are inside the coach info tab. So that is a little bit different than this screen that you're seeing right here. So that's it for mainly all the things that were pertinent to getting yourself up and going. Now I've got some questions that have been asked over the last week or so, and we can go through those, and hopefully after we're all done with this, we will have answered everything that that you find is pertinent to getting yourself up and ready to go with your club administration duties. So printing rosters. Some people have asked, well, how do I print my roster? Especially, even though the region is going to be verifying my rosters, I really would still like my coaches to carry rosters with them. Or if I'm out of the region and I have to turn in a roster, how do I do this? I want to also say that not only can you do this, but your coach can also do this from their membership as well. So they can just play around with it, figure out how to print their own rosters as well, and you wouldn't have to necessarily do it for them. But again, we're in club admin, club teams, select the team, and in here you're going to click on the red team roster. The whole roster will come up in a form and format of which we like to turn in a roster with all of the names, their member IDs, a couple of other pertinent information down at the bottom, and it's a place for you to sign. The best way to be able to print it off is if you have a mouse to right click and hit print from there. It actually is easier to do that than to do it from a keyboard, I have found over the years. But you can do it obviously from a keyboard. It's just from a mouse, seems to be a lot easier. Next question. Help, I can't find one of my members. And the member's telling you, hey, you know what, I did. I went through everything. If you're not seeing either a coach or player in your memberships, more than likely they did not choose your club when registering. And again, the club is chosen during the process in the NCR website. So you really shouldn't miss that, but occasionally people will. And for some reason, they're not going to show up in your memberships. So if that happens, unfortunately, they can't go back into their registration on the NCR site. They would have to actually do it from WebPoint. So because they have already done their membership, they've already been given their receipt and already been given their information on logging into WebPoint, you're going to have to ask them to log into WebPoint and update their membership with a selection of your club. So from there, you just tell them to look over to their left, member area, member profile. They just look to their right, and about halfway down the page, they're going to see a drop down from there. Now, still, I know there are a lot of people that still struggle with this. If they are struggling with this, please have them contact the office, and we'll be able to take care of that as easy peasy, as I like to say. Okay. Why are there two records for the same person? Well, actually, in the next week, those of you that are working in your memberships right now, you're only going to see it for a week right now. You're only going to see two records for the same person. If someone was with you last year They have gone ahead and they have renewed their membership. Good for them. Fantastic. But because they have renewed their membership, you're actually seeing both memberships in there because the old one has not expired yet. So that's why you're seeing two. As soon as the 2018 expires, they're going to be removed from there and you're not going to have to worry about it anymore. But I know that some people have already started building their rosters and they're getting confused here. So don't worry about that. I just wanted to point that out, that if you start in the next week, that's why you're going to be seeing two records for the same person. Why can't I add a coach or player to the roster? As far as coaches go, if you can find them in your memberships, but they can't be added to a roster, more than likely it's because they have not completed one or all of the following: background screen, safe sport training, or impact. All three of these must be complete and current in order for you to be able to add them to a roster. Now, more than likely, because we are going through the Sport Engine registration and they had clicked on that they're working with juniors, that background screen for the most part is going to be done and they will have been given their login there. But there may be a chance though that they haven't completed the safe sport or the impact, okay, and that's why you can't get them on the roster. So that information is actually another screen of how to do that. So we'll wait till that happens. As far as the players, if you can find them but they can't be added, more than likely they've not upgraded their membership. They chose a tryout membership and now they have to go back in, log back into the NCR website and actually upgrade to a limited or full membership. And then once they do that, you're going to be able to add them to a roster. Otherwise they can't be added either. How do I instruct my coaches on registering for impact and or safe sport training? Well, the instructions on how to do this are found on the NCR website. You will log in there and then you will see, no, actually you don't have to log in to see the information. You can go to the Director Coach tab that's up in the upper left-hand corner. That is going to take you to another page. And on that page, you're going to see where it says Coach Requirements. You can click on that, and then you can select the training that you need information on. And that's going to give you a full slate of all the information that you need. Registration will actually be done through WebPoint, and it's going to give you that information of how to log in and where to go. Everyone with a membership is going to see the tabs in their membership in the lower left-hand corner of the WebPoint, and where it says USAV clinics. And they'll be instructed from the NCR website to go to USAV coaching clinics, and from there they're going to see on the right the different options, being able to click on impact or the safe sport training directly from there. There is no additional cost to these, and you'll be able to just click on those, do an on-demand session with both of those. You're not going to have to worry about logging in or adding your member ID to that, because you're going to be doing it right actually from your membership. So it's going to see that, it's going to know that's who you are, and that's how it'll be updated for you. Okay. One thing that I didn't mention, I think, because I don't think I have any more questions, I believe that was the last one. One thing I did want to mention that I forgot was that when you're viewing your memberships, you may be able to see somebody in your memberships that technically is not in your club. And it's like, why is this person sitting here? You know, it's usually going to be a junior member. And the reason may very well be because when they were registering themselves, they actually selected your club. Maybe they played for you last year and they thought they'd be playing with you again this year, or maybe they were hoping to be able to play for you and they did not get an offer, but they selected your club regardless. Okay, so the thing is that once that's done, that is actually locked in there, and that's why we don't want them to select a club ahead of time. Okay, it's very important that that they are not assigned originally to a club. But if you are seeing them in there, then the only way to be able to get them removed is to contact the NCR office, and then what we can do is go in there, verify that they should not be with your memberships, and we can actually remove them. more than likely they're going to realize that as well, and they're going to contact us and let us know that, hey, you know what, I did this by accident. The thing is, when that does happen, though, we need to contact the junior club director just to make sure that that person did not actually accept an offer with you. So probably there's a two-step process there. That hasn't happened yet, but I can see that possibly happening in the next couple weeks. So that really concludes our webinar for today. And if there are not any additional questions, then I guess I've done my job, and I will be able to leave you here with knowing that all of your questions have been answered. But feel free to give us a call at the region office anytime at all, and any one of us in here can answer the questions that you have moving forward. Good luck to everybody with their upcoming tryouts, and for those of you that are coaches in the high school level, and as you search for that quest of the state title, and I believe that starts tonight with the high schools. So good luck to everybody, and hopefully I'm going to meet a number of you in the next season here.